glad to have you join us here on another episode of everybody's favorite daytime TV show, The Totally Real Talk Show. I'm your lovable host, Totally Real Tom. Today, we're going to start our show with a very special guest who's going to share with us a piece of literature today. I'd like to welcome our guest, Sean Williams. Thanks for having me on the show today, Tom. It's a pleasure to share this brilliant piece of literature and how it's impacted me. But first, let me hit the dead. Now with introductions done, I'd love to hear about what you wanted to talk about today. I've come to talk about a poem named The Road Not Taken, written by Robert Frost in August of 1915. This poem talks about a hiker who has trouble trying to figure out which path to go on in a fork in the road, and kind of his thought process through it as he moves through the situation.
I've heard of this author before. What drew you to this text?
The author of this poem was the thing that really drew me into it. I've enjoyed their other works, such as Fire and Ice and Birches before, and I thought it would be nice to finally talk about my opinion on a piece myself in this public forum, your lovely talk show.
What was specifically unique about this poem?
The aspect that was the most unique to me about this text was its creation. It was written by Frost as a joke on one of his friends, Edward Thomas. This was because whenever him and Edward used to go on walks together, Edward always had a hard time choosing which path they were going to go down, and it inspired Frost to write this poem.
That is a pretty unique factoid about this piece. I just have one final question for you, Mr. Williams. What element of this poem really struck with you? Something that you remember even after you finish reading it? Something that, I don't know, maybe keeps you coming back to this poem?
Part of the text that was most meaningful to me, I'd have to say it was the last stanza of the poem. In it, it states, "Two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by. And that has made all the difference." In this last stanza, I feel that the main character is speaking as if they're looking back upon their past decision of choosing that path and kind of accepting their consequences and boons that have come with going down that path, and knowing that if they had chosen the other one, it would have changed their life drastically. And that really stuck with me.
It's a very thought-provoking excerpt. Thank you for coming on to our show today, Sean. It was a pleasure to have you.
Thanks for having me on, Tom. Ishbi, is it good for you? Up next on the Totally Real Talk Show.